That's the Pacific Edge. That's the Pacific Edge. When the pressure comes, we stay one step ahead. That's the Pacific Edge. That's the Pacific Edge. One more day, one more chance. That's the Pacific Edge. That's the Pacific Edge. That's the Pacific Edge.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am in South Asia, so I'm going to say good morning. Okay, so just want to miss my. I was looking for this setup earlier, but I was mucking around with audio again. Now, have I got audio working? It appears so. If you can't hear me, guys, give me a shout out in the chat. I think we're right there. I think. Okay. So I've done all my levels. That would have been a nice little trade. I was hoping it would come back up, but it doesn't look like it is. And where are we targeting? We're probably targeting down here. So previous day value value low and the overnight value lows. Okay, so how did we get those? So if you have a look down here, I'm using volume profile. And in this case, it is the volume profile for the New York Open. That's 9:30 p.m. my time here in Southeast Asia, 9:30 a.m. in New York. So 9:30 till 4 o'clock is my setup time for the previous day value. So the previous day value low is this one. The previous day value, the previous day POC is that one. And the previous day high, value high is that one. So also I am charting the previous day, sorry, the overnight values as well, which are these ones here, which is 6 a.m. my time, Monday, which will be 6 p.m. Sunday, New York time, into the 9:29, the start of the New York session. So that one is plotted as well, which is the overnight value low, the overnight POC, which is the point of control, and the overnight value high. So plus I've also got the weekly, but weekly is way out of the picture. I think that's down here, previous day value highs. So they're down here. So I don't think we're visiting those for a long time, or a while at least anyway. So what am I doing? What am I looking for? I'm looking for reactions at these points of interest, these historical points of interest that are created by the volume profile. The volume profile I use is this one here, which is the fixed range volume profile, and I'll start that at 6 on the open, 6 a.m. my time, 6 p.m. New York time. And I will be using the volume profile, my template here, which is extended right. So it continues with the developing the whole session. So start at 6 a.m. And that's where we are. So what I'm hoping to see is a retest back up here, if we can get one more. To be honest, I'm not sure how high this will get to. I might consider maybe entering there. So what I use, now this is still developing, so it's not as confidence building in what I want to set up as a trade. It's just I want to try and get in. Yeah, so what I'm doing there, and what that's showing, these are values where the market is buying, selling. That's where the market's in this current session. The lows are down here, the highs are up here, and this is the point of contract, the point of control, which is the medium range. So most of the values sitting here in this start of the session. So I don't really use this at the moment, not until later in the day, so into the London session mainly. I'll start to look at these and use these figures definitely as with confidence. But at the moment, I want, this is my trade I ideally want up at the point of control, and I'll use these areas to set stop losses and take profits. So I'll if we can get back up into this area, I will like the look of a trying to get 2 contracts in, so I can keep one running and running down into hopefully taking it down to these levels. So what I do is also I'll be using so it might be off now. If it goes through here, it'll probably target down. I'll miss that trade. So what I'll be looking then is potential long back up. So you're always in the market with this sort of, if you use these areas. to set up your trades. Sorry. Yeah, so that's sort of what I'm looking for this morning. So if it sweeps here, I'll possibly be changing my, which it has, it's swept it now. So I'll be looking at what we're going to do in this area now. So I'm almost confident of doing a buy. Well, 425. I might just wait to see. I would normally, like, if we're going the if we're going to the same trend as the market, I would set up a buy limit here, but obviously we're a bit of a downtrend, so I just want to see the reaction. And what I'm also waiting for is in 4 minutes, the Australia / pre-Asia opens. So I'll probably at this stage, I'll probably wait to see what happens. What happens at the Australia pre-Asia open range or open sorry, I'm half asleep. The orb, the 5-minute opening orb on the 7 o'clock range. Now, this is still, my idea for a short is still in place, still at the moment, because we didn't come down and sweep this area. So whilst that's still in play, I'm still bearish with this move. So if I can get, if 7 o'clock can open and the market retests back up here, I'll probably look for my short still. But we shall see. We shall see. We've got 2 minutes. So 2 minutes to 7 o'clock, Australia / pre-Asia open. And now I've built myself a little tool just because I like coding. That was my actual background in life before trading and doing some other stuff. So I've built my own little tool, which is just basically an orb. Which is just this, like that, but it'll be for the 7 o'clock. So all I'm doing is building the highest, drawing out the highest level, the lowest level, and a mid-range for the first 5-minute candles. And I use that. I don't use that as a traditional opening range breakout, which is basically as soon as it. Anyway, well, I'll explain it when the 5 minutes is produced. The 5-minute orb is produced. All right, so we have got a little chance here. I do want to see that first 5 minutes now that we're here, because that could easily go up and start testing up here before it comes down. So I'll wait for that first 5 minutes. What sort of range have we got in here? Yeah, so patience. As my grandma used to say, patience is a virtue. So I'll go with the same thing. All right. We have got, is that the opening? That's the opening candle here. Let's see how high we can get to. Now, guys, don't copy trade me. This is more info only because I haven't been on the greatest winning stretch the last couple of weeks, so that's why do your own own trading. Never copy YouTubers. Learn what you can, build into your own system what you need to out of what you see. Otherwise, you're just cheating yourself anyway. Two, you're not learning anything. So I could be easily wrong, and I often am. Okay, so we are on the 701 candle. Guys, how's my stream? I still can't work out if I've got it on the lowest latency, so it should be close, but can people hear me? I presume you can hear me because I had a bit of a problem yesterday with audio. And two, how many candles behind are we? I'm on the 701 right now. Anyway, let me know. So I've got the tightest latency I can. All right, I'm gonna. I sort of want to be in this 703. I'll be patient. That's a 704 now. 1, 2, 3. No, it's not. 703 still, sorry. So everyone who traded today, New York, how'd you guys go? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So tempting. I probably would have taken that if I was in if we weren't in the 705 in that first 5-minute orb, the 7 o'clock orb. I'm saying orb, it's the open range breakout of the 7 o'clock hour. So I'm just waiting for that to paint on my I'll just wait till monitor that breakout. Why am I looking at shorts? I'm looking at short personally, because this area is probably the closest, and we have had a bit of bearish start to the day. So I am looking at a continuation short. If I can get in. And I'm just looking for a scalp. So quick little base hit. I'll probably take a 2 contract if I can get in. All right, so our orb's been created. So it's only 11 points. So it's 50 ticks, nearly 50 ticks. So I will look at a short. 165. It's just, I don't know if it's going to test back up here. So as long as it stays within the orb here, we've still got a chance to get this trade in. If it breaks, I've probably missed it, but it often does play within the orb. Just chops around the orb structure for a while until the market's ready to do its thing. We shall see. If I miss this, I'm pretty sure we're going to be targeting this area, so I'll just wait. I'll have a bit of patience. Okay, it looks like it's ready to take off now. Damn, would have been a good time to get in. It's just the timing. But I'm prepared to wait for it to come down here, because this is the ultimate area I think it's targeting, and then I'll look for a long bounce up off this area. That would have been the trade though. Yeah. Often, so I don't use the orb traditionally like everyone else seems to use it. I get burnt too much on the orb, so I use it a little differently. I use it for my stop losses and take profit, just as a visual aid on my chart that I can use for setting my trades. So for here example, now that it's set up like that, I'll probably be looking inside for my setup, behind the POC, because these areas that's the overnight POC, which is the point of control for this session. So overnight session, yes, Sunday 6 p.m. for New York into 9:30 a.m. Monday morning. So that's that whole Asia range yesterday, or the whole Asia session yesterday, if that makes sense. So I like setting up so my stop loss is below or is behind these areas, because there probably will be a lot of reaction around this area, because there's a lot of value, a lot of volume that was sitting in that overnight POC area, point of control area, which is basically this area is where this current session is setting up. This yellow line here is the volume that's setting up for this session. All right, so this is why I don't use the breakout solely. So that would have only been 8 points. So you're waiting for this to break out, and then it whipsaws back up. All right, is that? Okay, so we've got another chance to get in here. I just want to wait till it gets here, and I will. 465. I'll wait for that.
Order working.
Whoa. It's loud. And I'll set up 478.
Order working.
So don't copy me, guys, because this could easily continue up past this, if it even gets here, though. And 453. Ah. All right. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Probably should have had set my stop I just wanted to see, look, it does funny buggers around here, so sometimes I just wait to see the reaction at the level. Just drop that down a little. Now, this isn't a very big range, as we can see. It's only 11.5, which is under 50 ticks. So I needed to, in an ideal world, I would love this orb to be 15 points. And then I can take the entry and first take profit within the orb. Now I've got to rely on it to break the orb again, which is fine. Just it's just a bit of a, well, I guess it's a bit of a psychological thing with me. So let's see, shall we get back up here? But I think just reading the current bearish sort of opening, I think we're heading down here ultimately. But it might, as I said, it might go up, take out, back, retest this sort of area, because there's a bit of value, as you can see. There's a lot of volume and value sitting up here. So it could just go straight through that and take me out anyway. But that is trading. All a bit of a gamble, I guess. So what am I trading? I am trading the prop firm Apex at the moment. So I've got three, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got three 50K accounts and one 150K accounts. These are evals, end of days. The newer accounts that Apex has got. And I'm copy trading. So I'm copy trading 3 by 50Ks and 1 by 150K accounts. So this was a bit of a fake out move. Hoping the next real move is still down. But like I said, it could go up here straight away and target this area initially before it comes down. So taking a bit of a chance. In an ideal world, I would rather wait for this candle, but I've missed it. I've missed it twice. So I'm a bit, whilst I was saying I was patient, I'm a little bit less tolerant, a little bit impatient and trying to force a trade, which is such a bad idea. But normally I'd wait for that reaction. Like if it goes in heavy here with a big engulfing green candle and hits the overnight pop with the green candle and closes, then there's a good chance this will keep flying straight up. But I'll take a chance. It's only an eval. And these evals are taking me longer than normal. I'd normally like. So I probably will. I'm probably prepared to take a little more risk on this. Yeah. Okay, so we've broken the 5-minute orb level, which is a good sign for short, but not so much the AJ getting into it, unfortunately. You never know. You never know. It's going to play some funny buggers. This is the Asian, the Globex session, so weird things do happen. So, Mr. Market Makers, what's our volumes? Not much volume, actually. When I say volume, I'm looking at these candles, the strength of the candles, the strength of this. When you're seeing the color candles, it's more the bigger players are in control of the market. But we haven't really seen it. We've had one there, which was a long. So it, and one there, which was a short. So what the market makers like to do is one, they'll already be, whatever direction they want to go, they're already setting up their trades, already setting up their entries. And they're not using orbs and friggin' ICT, and they got their own algorithms that they'll be using. So they already know where the market's going. It's just us poor saps that are, us poor retailers that are giving them some liquidity to make their moves or to realize their moves. Right, so I'm just inside here, and I'm just inside this area here. It's got to go through a bit of, it's got to go it's got to go through the point of control. So it's got to go through this level and even this level. So there's like a little indication here. There'll be a reaction probably off that. But if we can get through here, I'll just forerun the orb. I'm worried about that level just being hit with a big candle. And just going taking off.
Order filled.
Okay, so we're in. It's a pretty strong candle. Hopefully we just get an instant reaction off the overnight POC. And I'll set up for a, what's that, 452.
Order working.
Yeah, I'm taking on a bit extra risk with this stop loss, which is just above this little node here. So it's probably, yeah, that's all right. We shall see. So yeah, in an ideal world, I would like to take profit here. Just get in, get out. But in another ideal world, I'd rather have two contracts on this, because I think there's a lot of chance for a runner, keeping a runner open to this level. And if that's the case, I might go in again for a retest back in here. Have my stop loss above the POC here, the overnight POC, for that opportunity to try and target down here. Now, a bit more, well, it hasn't hit that. I'll take that back. I won't say that. Now, I didn't actually check, was there any overnight news? And we need to... No. Oil holds gains. Nothing really. Mr. Trump's been behaving himself, so nothing on the Middle East front that I can see. Now, what I've also done is I've built my own AI tool that I run every morning. I haven't even read it yet, but I'll have a read of that, see what the AI tool has produced. Basically what I did is I bought 2 years worth of 1 minute candle data for NAS, and I've run it through AI and created just like a little roadmap tool based on my strategy to just that I run just on the start of the day. I'm just going through it now, see if there's any setups. Now, setups are for trades short off the overnight and PD POC. Okay, so short off. Okay, yeah, well, that's what we were doing anyway. Where's the overnight POC? Where is the overnight POC? Overnight POC. Is that the overnight? That's the overnight POC. Yep, so overnight POC and the previous day POC. And the previous day POC is... No, previous day POC's up there. That's a fair way off, so we won't worry about that at the moment. So short off the overnight, rejection at the 28,920. Is that where we are? Where are we? 28,920. 28? Hang on, what? Okay, I'll look at that later because that's not even... Those values aren't correct. Anyway, short off the overnight and short off the PD, or PD POCs. And take profit on the overnight value lows. Down here. Yeah. Anyway. It does a few other things. I won't go over it now, but I'll look at a couple of things that from my AI tool. Okay, how are we going here? A little bit chop in the 5 minutes orb range. Which leads me to think it probably will test the actual line, the 467. I'm just hoping it's going to just do a quick whip up here and then come down. And if it does, it might give me another chance to get into another contract. I'll add another contract in. Okay. So I know I'm moving my chart around a bit, aren't I? Is that moving? Yeah. Da, 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 da. You have a good thing I like with the orb, just visually. Don't use it for breakouts or anything like that. But what I do like, it sets up when you're in a bearish. So see this center line, the middle line. I like when you're under that, you're still sort of in a bearish state of mind. The market's in a bearish state of mind. When it's above that, in this little area, it's suggesting that it's now bullish again. So because it's such a tight range, it doesn't really, it's only 11.5 points, but it's all visual clues to make a decision. Because I scalp, I like having a visual overview of where we are. It just gives you a lot more confidence to take that trade quickly. So with experience, like I've been full-time trading 3 years, not in the NAS. I've only just come to NAS futures recently, like basically this year. I've been trading crypto, BTC mainly. So I've been doing that I've been in crypto since 2017. Remember in the old ICO days, for anyone who's around then or knows what that was all about. The fun times in crypto. Now it's a bit of a chore. Crypto's pretty shit now. We don't have there's no bull market. There was such a defined bull market, bear market. Now it's sort of just shit market. But anyway, I still make my day-to-day living from trading BTC crypto. But I wanted another pillar of income coming through. I like trading, so I thought, you know what? Let's go and use prop firms' money, which is where I am now. So, someone, I think it was yesterday, asked about why Apex. Apex is I'm basically living. I'm from Australia, if you can't tell from my Aussie accent. And I was in Australia. Well, I'm basically living between Australia and Philippines, Southeast Asia. Unfortunately, when I got here, I was trading using Take Profit Trader and Lucid prop firms. But when I came here, they banned Philippines. So both of those banned Philippines, so I can't trade those accounts until I get back to Australia, which I'll head back to Australia shortly. So I had to find another prop firm, and I chose Apex, which has been pretty good. What's this market doing? Apex is good, cheap to get in. There is a activation fee, so it's not cheap as some when you take the whole thing into account. But I'm sort of aggressively trading I'm aggressively trading these prop firms.
Order filled.
Okay, so this would have been
Order cancelled.
okay, so first one worked out okay. And I'm still interested in my short down here that's why I wanted to have 2 contracts in. So when I say I'm aggressively trading, I'm a bit of a wussy, so I didn't actually aggressively trade that one because it would have been good to have 2 contracts. So what I would have done here, if I had my 2 contracts in, taken that first profit, and moved my second contract to break even. Where was break even? Where did I get in? Yeah. Taken my second contract to break even and then trailed this down. So I probably would have trailed the second contract down to here, or just above here, actually, just above the fair value gap, hoping for that continuation down. But I didn't do that. So what did we make then? We made 255. And I probably would have got out anyway here. Although just setting a break even would have been smarter. Who knows? I do some weird stuff. So I might have taken that down too early, like sometimes I do. But really, I should have left it. I should have brought the break even down there and just let it run. But it doesn't matter because that is all hindsight. Anyway, we are back inside the orb, and I am interested in still taking that. I just want to see. This again is why I like having the orb, because here is, remember I was saying that while you're still below that, you're still bearish. Just want to see what it does here. It'll probably just do it'll either do a strong candle through this area again, or I'll just play around, chop around here for a bit. And the good thing is with taking your first trade and having a little bit of a win, you've got a bit more confidence to drive that home and go a bit harder on the next trade. So if we get back up here, we shall see. Might look at 10 contracts now. When it's 10 contracts, I'm doing NQs, so I'm doing mini contracts, but it's 10 for the copy trading. So it's one for each of the 50k accounts. So that's 3 contracts, and I'm doing 2 contracts for the 150k. So that's copy trading. I'm copy trading 10 contracts over the 4 accounts, if that makes sense. Sorry, got a bit of a cold. I left my air conditioner on. It's bloody hot over here. Anyone who's been Southeast Asia, this time of year it's very hot. What is the temperature today? Actually, it's not too bad. 31. It's been like 35. 31 is not too bad, but I think it is coming into the wet season here. They only have two seasons a year, hot or wet. And wet's hot. Okay, so, what are we up to? Just want to see the reaction at the top of the orb and the actual overnight POC. Yeah, so more just the conviction / confidence of, because we've done this move, we've tested, hit it again, tested. Sometimes it likes to do the opposite, so it'll ram up through here and then come down, then do its little play. So I'm just a little bit hesitant in making my same move. I'm still short though, because we haven't hit these areas. So I'm still, my plan is still to short into this, and then from here long. But Asia likes to mess with your head. Well, mess with my head anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if it takes off through here and reaches these levels. Before coming down. But it might just keep going, actually. There's not much up here historically, though. What is up here? Up here. So what I think, well, I shouldn't predict because it's a waste of time. It always burns me, but my plan for the day is to go, it'll hit these targets, bounce up, and head for here. But predicting is not always the best method. It's sometimes better just to react with what's presented in front of you. If you get bias in, too much bias in the play, sometimes you just stick with that bias and you fuck it up. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Yep. Okay, seem to be working okay. Yesterday I spoke for half an hour with the volume off. Well, not volume off, just muted for whatever reason. Anyway, I'm a newbie. Forgive me. As you can see, I'm not the best YouTuber in the world. And to be honest... Oh, thanks, Trooper. Well, that's why I didn't want to go in. See what it's done there? Just went straight through. Because I'd done those couple of runs, that just warned me. That's a friggin' big candle. Are we at Tokyo Open yet? No, 20 minutes to Tokyo. Okay. But that's the perfect example. If I could bottle that, I would. Because that's a perfect example of the market manipulating. Because quite often with the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock orb, the opening range, it does test... Now, because it's done that move, I am inclined to still go in here. I think I'll reduce that though. Still want to short, I think. Now, the reason I still want to short again is because we didn't sweep these areas. But now that we're above the overnight POC, if we start building volume up here, then there's every chance we're going to be continuing higher. Whoops. What did that do? No, I just want to. So these are some pretty decent sized candles. And I bet I can't see at the moment, but if I look down, there will be some red. What's that? So that's a 20-point candle. If I look down here, there's probably some red developing. Red, yeah. See, I don't know if you're on earlier, but the people who were on there earlier, I was saying that I like to see. I like to have this indicator on my chart, which is the advanced volume. And what that's doing, it's just highlighting to me that these are institutional, larger traders in the market. And these are the ones that control the market. That could be one potential institutional buyer or whatever, just controlling that, controlling where they want it to go. So it can sometimes signify that whatever that candle did, the opposite will be happening. So they're setting up their shorts from up here. So they've taken out. See how it's gone through this session here. A lot of people would have been setting up shorts or longs from these areas. So what the market maker is basically doing here is taking that liquidity and controlling the market where he wants to go. He or she. So we're 20 minutes from Tokyo Open, and that's where the real action will happen, where the real direction will be driven. So I'm still looking at a short here. Let's see what happens here for a bit. That would have been perfect. It would have been out by now. So whilst we're still in this orb, I'm still okay with taking a short anywhere up here. Just the volume of candles there. I could have set up a sell limit there on the POC again, but these are some serious, well, for Asia anyway, these are some serious sort of candles and volume in the market at the moment. So I'm prepared to look, it might be boring, guys, but I'm prepared to wait till Tokyo if I don't see the right trade, which is 15 minutes away. If I hadn't had that little win earlier, only a little base hit win, I know, but I would probably be in one of these trades, and who knows, I might have been stopped out at this one. But I've got a bit of a credit in the bank, so I'm a bit more patient to wait for a better entry. Okay, so here we go. We're testing the orb level again. What I really want is I want to have 2 contracts in a sell. down to here. So we shall see. What have I got on my chart? I know my chart's messy, I know. Always gets me. I see these other YouTubers trading, they got nothing on their chart. Looks so sexy. But as you can tell, I'm not sexy. I'm not a sexy chappy. So I am a bit messy. But I need to see everything on the chart for me personally to make a decision. So what have I got on the chart? So I've got my volume profiles. So that's my current volume profiles for this session, the Asia session or Globex session. I've got the overnight high. Sorry, I've got the previous day session as well. So I'm just watching this market. That's the previous day, Monday 9:30 a.m. US time, New York time, 9:30 p.m. Monday night, my time, through till 4 o'clock. And I also plot the overnight, which is 6 o'clock p.m. Sunday for you guys, New York, 6 o'clock a.m. here in Southeast Asia, through to the 9:30 open. So they're my previous day and overnight. And I also plot the weeklies. The weeklies are down here. Weeklies are way down here. So unless Mr. Trump decides, previous week POC and the previous week value low are down there. So they're my historical higher time frame points of interest that I use in my trading every day. Oh, I missed that. Okay. So if we break here, break this level here, this is like a fair value gap here, but it's basically this candle here. If we break through that, then I have to readjust my thinking, mainly because I've probably missed my move down here. I won't just use a... So what I could do is something like, if we retest there, I could do that. Because how I like to trade is I like my stop losses, take profits centered, or my entries taken around these historical points of interest, rather than just taking it wherever. Now it has broken here. So my initial trade up here, I've reevaluated, I'm not taking trades up here. This I might consider, or maybe even into that. Maybe something like that. Off that node there. All right, so I've got some of my stop loss set up behind this, because it's got to go through. This trade has to go. The market has to go through here, which is a strong level of. Not that strong at the moment because it's only a couple of hours, not even an hour old, but it's building. So there's a bit of structure there that's building. Plus it then has to get through here. not so much this session, but there's structure, historical structure sitting up here. So that might be a trade I might consider whilst it's in, but I'll wait to see what it does here. If it goes up here and then comes down, I might look at getting in that trade. I'll probably just do one entry though, because I'm not as confident with that. But this is the area I think it's targeting, if that makes sense. Does it make sense? Anyway, chuck in the chat if you got any sort of questions on how my head's thinking. Don't copy trade me, guys. I don't know. I think there's a bloody delay on this stupid session anyway. I've got it at set. I've got the stream set at the lowest latency, so it should be close, but don't know if that's the case. Anyway, don't copy any bloody YouTuber for that matter. From experience, YouTubers like to show you the best of the best, and I probably would too. But I'm happy to lose on these. I don't care. It's only evals, and I'm a little bit different than other YouTubers. I'm not planning on doing courses. I'm not planning on making money out of you guys. I am really, I don't know, anyone who's followed me, I've only just done this for the last, well, did I do it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. Anyway, I've only been on for a week, 2 weeks. I'm really doing this for myself, my own benefit, because I normally overtrade a bit, so I'm trying to be a bit more stricter, a bit more patient in my trading, and a bit more disciplined. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to put myself out there, and I am going to. So it might bounce off there actually. So we've got a little fair value gap built there on that candle, that strong candle down. That might not be a bad entry there. I'll wait a bit longer. So I thought I'll put myself out there. Hopefully I'll trade a bit more disciplined and not overtrade as much, and no revenge trades. That's a bit of a problem of mine. I do revenge trade a little bit, because you think these evals, these 50k evals with Apex are only $39, so $39 I sort of forget about how cheap they are, or I remember how cheap they are and just overtrade. Whoop. So no, I don't want to. No. I'm prepared to wait till 8 o'clock, which is only 6 minutes away anyway. So I'll wait till 8. I'm going to wait. And there we go. We probably get into that trade I was after. Now, the only hesitancy now is the 8 o'clock is coming around. So 8 o'clock, these candles here can easily happen with Tokyo. So whilst I waited for the 7 o'clock Australia / pre-Asia orb setup, I'll probably do the same with the Tokyo one. So my Tokyo, if I've got it set, Asian set at 8 o'clock. Yep. So 5 minutes to go till Tokyo. I'll wait. Even though it's hit my level, I'm just a bit conscious. At 8 o'clock, anything can happen, so I'm prepared to wait a bit. Yeah, so what else was on my chart I was explaining earlier? Yeah, so I've got the, what's that called? The advanced volume, whatever it is. I've got SMA 200. So I've got some, my median average is up. I've got the 200 and the 50. Geez, they must be a fair way off. Oh, are they above? 200 and the 50, and I've got the VWAP. So these are just reference points. I don't use them to maybe take profit, maybe in my setups, but not really. I just use them as visual cues. The VWAP I sometimes might use to take profit to set a stop loss up behind if it's all, it all depends. That I do take in a bit of, give it a bit of credit to, because the market does seem to follow the VWAP. Especially I noticed the Asian sort of range. I only trade Asian session and London session. I don't trade into the New York session. That's too late. Too late for the AJ. Oh, sorry guys, I haven't been following the chat. Revenge trading gets me every time. Yeah, I know the feeling, Tripper. Buy sell. I am looking. I'm looking for sell, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go into buy mode. So whilst I was explaining earlier, Anik, my bias just at the moment is on the sell, because until these areas are swept. So we did get our lower high down here from this area. So I'm still looking in a sell. I'm just cautious of the Tokyo Open coming up. So I want to see what the 5-minute open range looks like before I commit either way. But so at the moment, whilst we're under the overnight POC, which is the overnight yesterday's session, like point of control area, I'm in a bearish sort of bias at the moment until these areas are targeted, or at least tapped or swept. Then I'll probably look long here. But depends on what Tokyo wants to do. If Tokyo wants to move the market up and chase these sort of liquidity sort of areas, here, and head towards this structure, which it could quite possibly do, because there's a lot of liquidity up here for Mr. Market Maker, Mr. and Mrs. Market Maker. If Tokyo starts off pretty strong and wants to take this area here, if it builds some volume above the overnight pop, then I'll change my view and my bias pretty quickly. So if we didn't have any worries on the hour, these are the areas I'd be looking at for a sell-off from here. But I just want to see what Tokyo wants to do. So if we start getting volume above this point of control, overnight point of control, if we start building structure here and this starts coming into play like this is a developing session profile. With the longer it goes and the longer and where volume sits, these session points change. So if it starts building structure up above here, then I'll be looking at a long. Okay, so is that the 8 o'clock? Yeah, so this is the first, this is the, this is the candle, the 8 o'clock candle for the open for Tokyo. So I've got my I've still got my orb set up for Tokyo. Sorry, for Australia and pre-Asia, whatever you want to call that time. I don't even know what you call that. I just call it Australia. That's 7 a.m. or 7 o'clock. I'll still have that plotted, but if Tokyo goes up and then comes down, I'll remove that and I'll just use Tokyo's orb levels. Again, not to monitor the breakouts, just for my guidance in setting up my trades. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Right, so we've got 801. Just to finish what I've got on my chart. So I've got the VWAP, the 50 MA, the 200 MA. I do monitor fair value gaps. I know everyone seems to bag fair value gaps, etc., but I find them quite useful for not taking trades, but for just areas to look, take profit mainly. Take profit and just set up a stop loss. So again, they're just little extra guides that I use to like balance my my trade setup idea. All right, so we tempted to hit the POC again, and straight away we came straight down, which again is an okay sign for my still my idea that we're still going down here first. But let's see what Tokyo does. 3 minutes ago. What else have I got on my charts? I've just got fair value gaps. I've got the Lux Algo smart money concept. That's a pretty good indicator. I'm really only using it now. That's the paid version. If you trade like me, you won't need the paid version, but I've got the paid version. I probably won't. They've got their own free version of this, and I'll probably end up just using that or not even using it at all. It's actually a very good indicator. They're a good team, Lux. I've used a couple of their things in the past. I'm only using that really just visually so I can see change of characters straight away. I don't have to think where I am. But you don't need that one. And then I've just got my own built profile. It automatically plots the session points of interest, the volume profiles points of interest. Where it looks different, I've had to plot those ones manually because it's slightly out. So, for example, the on POC is just slightly out. Oh, actually, it's a long way out. That's why that one's not on. And what was the other one? The previous day value low. Previous day value low is slightly out. That's my automated one, and that's where I've just adjusted it. So I'm a bit of a lazy bugger. So where I can build my own tool, I will. What was that? Was that the previous day val? Yes. Yeah, so I've built that, and the breakout is just the orb levels. So there's heaps of indicators that. All right, so we've now painted the Tokyo 5-minute orb. So I'll get rid of that just to get some clutter off the chart, and I'll look at that one for the China Open. Okay, well, bum. Okay, I do want to get back in this trade. See these candles though. Ugh. Some big volume there. I'd rather get in up here off the POC level. Maybe off here actually, which is 461. 461. Just wait. Further reaction. So see these big candles? I don't really want to be trading with that. See these? I'll just let these guys do their thing. Might not allow me to get back into trade, but I don't want to be trading while they're trading. All right, so if we retest back up here, I'll probably go in. If I get the opportunity. My hesitancy might cost me here. Okay. Sorry, I'm still just a bit hesitant. Like ideally, that's where I want to set my stop loss. So that's sort of where I want to get in. Maybe just below that. I know I'm a chicken shit. I know. Everyone's saying it. I know. But all right. I'll take that. If we can get this opportunity to come back up here. Bloody hell. This is the area. Remember, we're targeting. If I don't get it, I'm not pissed off. Well, I am. But that's okay, because I'll be looking at the reaction here. I can set up trades from here. So we've gone straight through that. So I'll be looking long now. So just a retest down here. Wow, some bloody volume in the market. But again, remember, see how we're playing around with the big boys? I don't like that. So anyone watching the news, is there any news happening? Because that's some decent volume. Uh, Bloody hell. Bit of action happening. And they say Asia has low volume. Nothing happens. I don't know. It's enough for the AJ. So because we've got a lot of action coming down, it's trying to suggest market, we're going down, come along with the ride for us, and then it does the opposite. So I think I want to be in a long. But we're going against trend now, which is always a bit. All right, let's make a new. I just want to see a bit of action above here, bit of volume before I think along. And really, the reason I want to go long is, what are they after here? What's the market maker? Because there's nothing down here other than the weekly stuff. 284. So instead of the structure up here, it is below. So yeah, structure's building down here now. Wow. The market wants to go down. All right, so in now, I'm switching back to a short. So if we can get down here, just below there. See how I'm using 58. No, that's a 90. But see how I'm using these areas just to get behind, just for a bit of backup. But I don't want to get in, so maybe we... taking a bit more risk that way. But it's got to get back up to here. Ugh. Hopefully the market makers have done their job and said, over to you, retail boys. Let's see what you got. We want the market to go down, so please oblige. So whilst I'm using these as a guide, doesn't mean it's going to hit exactly that point. I'm just using that really as my to try and justify setting up a trade for this. I want to be there. So here we go. So I'm going to do a sell. Whoa. Okay. Oh my God. How can you trade this? So yeah, we've got another big player candle. Bloody hell, how far is that? That's 30 points. One candle. That makes it hard to how I'm trading. I probably need to adjust. Take on a bit more risk. All right, so if we keep any market any volume down here, you'll see these session points of interest, the value high, the POC, and the value low start moving down, and that'll start becoming a real what's called a B shape. So it'll start sort of doing this sort of thing. So this pattern shape will change because it's starting to look bearish, obviously. Obviously, AJ, it's looking bearish, we know. But you just can't. How can you trade that? So the only thing left for me is to get back up into this area, stay above this sort of value low area with my stop loss, and maybe put a bit more risk. So rather than 50 ticks, I'll just do one contract for 100. But I really need that coming back up here to enter. So I managed to avoid a bit of rubbish happening there. Not really by skill, more by hesitance, but bad luck. I'm counting that. Now, when they're layered like that, I'll just take, especially because they're so close, I'll still try and take the trades. I'll just forerun that a bit. So I'm going to set up a 422. Jeez. Wow, look at this thing. So I'm trying to set my stop off, see if it makes sense. I'll set my stop off around that, see if it makes sense getting in a trade here. But entry's a long way away from there. Oh man, so what happened yesterday? I just couldn't get in the market. Yeah, Trevor, I missed it. It's not a good call until you're in the call, but that's all right. Surprised our session hasn't changed much. That's pretty much what it was at 7 o'clock. But it's starting to form what's called, well, I don't even know. I'm not a professional friggin' volume profile guy. I just know what I know. I probably should do a bit more education on it, to be honest. But there's three that I know of anyway, three sort of shapes for, whoops. Ah, fuck's sake. What did I just do then? Three shapes for that you look for. So it's this, which is a B. So when you're looking at a B pattern volume profile, it's bearish. All right. So all the volume's sitting around here. All right. So in an ideal world, and this is why I like volume profiles. That's telling you, look, you're in a bearish state. What are you trying to long for? But it just gives you a bias what to look for. So if anywhere on this side of the B shape, it's a good area to take trades from for shorts. And once it starts getting above that, then you can then it turns your thinking into, okay, maybe we're longish here. So that's the what's called the B shape. And then the opposite is the P shape, which is this sort of pattern. Well, bad drawing, but you know what I mean. So it's more, the volume is above the POC usually. So you're looking more long situations, so above this sort of area, looking for opportunities to long. And the other one, the third one, and look, maybe there's others, I don't know. I only concentrate on these three, is just a D, which is an equal sort of, which is sort of that. So it's sort of moving from the P that it was before into the D, but the longer it spends down here, this will start forming into a B shape. But you never really, well, I suppose you do. You have it, just a visual of it in your head, just see what's going on with the market. So what am I going to do? We're a long way off these weekly levels, so I'm not totally convinced we're going. There'll be a point here when we saturate the sellers, which may have already happened, and we start heading back up. We've swept the lows, like the previous day lows, the overnight lows. Overnight POC, overnight. Oh, no, sorry. So we've got the previous day value low and we've got the overnight value low. So we've swept those. Asia likes, my experience anyway, Asia likes sweeping the lows and then attempting to come up and take out the highs as well. Doesn't mean it will, doesn't mean it does every time, but I look for that sort of market playing out. So, but there is still a fair bit. All these are yesterday's. So there is still a bit of liquidity down here that the market might chase, which happens to be around that previous weekly value high. See how it all sort of hinges together, the volume sessions? Whatever you guys trade, I don't know what strategy you guys use, but try the volume profiles because it does work. I'm starting to use it even in crypto. Like I've got a totally different way of trading in crypto. But I'm starting to introduce volume profiles there, but it's different timings. I'm still trying to actually come up. What I'm going to do, I won't do crypto on this stream unless I can get into some prop firms. I'll get some prop firms because I think Warbucks, is that Patrick Whelan's, the one he always promotes. I don't know if it's his. But I think they do crypto, so I might at some point, if I stay online long enough and I get a bit of support from the channel, I'll introduce crypto, which would be good. I wouldn't mind doing prop firm crypto trading. I'll just do Ethereum or Bitcoin, but that's all I need to do. So I'll at some point investigate that. Oh man, the market's moved too quick for the AJ today. Bit of a boring session. Got one trade earlier, just a little small hit one, just one contract. This is what I did yesterday. I was predicting all these things. I'll set up here, and I think I sort of suggested 5, and all 5 worked, but I couldn't get in quick enough. A little hesitant. Then I do 2 trades later in the afternoon. I won one, lost the other. So yesterday should have been a good day. But that is trading, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if I finished what I was saying. But yeah, just introduce volume profiles into your whatever strategy you're using. Just have them there just as visuals. And if you like your nice clean charts, just do what I do, which is draw them in. I've got my own tool that I've built that creates them automatically, or most of them, but just draw them in and then you can remove them. You don't really need the structure to look at from previous day, overnight, and weeklies. That's what I use anyway. There is a video I need to probably redo. It's the first video I did, and it was pretty bad. But if you look in my channel, there's a setup video, how to set up the previous day value low, the volume profiles. And the volume profile I use is this one, the fixed range volume profile. Just have them there. Do yourself a favor, check it out. Things do happen around these areas, so if you can use it to your advantage, why not? But if you like nice clean charts, that makes sense. Because we are still got these areas, I do like the short still. So they'll be taken today. So it'll either be Asia session or maybe it'll go into London. But I'm pretty confident these levels will be taken, and maybe even up here again. We shall see what the market wants to do. Just a bit hesitant going in yet. That's 100 points, isn't it? Let's get a retester here. So like I was saying before, I think slowly building up down here. I think I think these points of interest are going to start moving down. So we've got to change a character here. Any ICT traders in the house? I don't really follow ICT too much, but I've picked up stuff along the way that I have sort of introduced into my way of trading. I just want to see the reaction here before I enter a trade. This is why I do miss out on trades sometimes, because I want to see want to see the way it goes into these areas, because this could easily go and start aiming for back into the orb. So if my idea for a setup covered all these areas, I'd be straight in. But I'm sort of setting up in the middle of nowhere. Like, that's sort of what I would really rather see. But that's too much risk, obviously. So unless something like that. Still too much. So reason why I'm looking at that is, so it's much about if the entry and trade overall makes sense. Or not so much makes sense, but is covered. There's no use freaking just putting an entry here and just watching it go up. There's nothing worse. So I don't know. And I'm only saying it because my overtrading, I would be doing that. And it just wasn't working for me. So I'd go in these entries I saw. Yes, I would work. But a lot of the time they didn't either. So I'm just a little bit pickier in my setups. So see this one here, this red candle here that was a volume candle. So it often does exactly the opposite. So it wants you to come down here, gets everyone excited for it going down further, and then whipsaws back up. Still do like a short. Just take a little stab at it. Just a one contract. What's that give me? Just because there's so much volume. Oh, there has been just recently. So just get above this candle, maybe. Yeah, I could do that. So I'm looking over here on the left as well, just for a node to sort of put the stop loss behind. I think it'll retest back up here. Yeah. You know what? It's only an eval. Let's do it. What am I worrying about? It's not even there yet. 424. Right, let's just wait for this and the next candle.
Order filled.
I'll take a chance. 442.
Order working.
See how it goes. 405.
Order working.
There's a good chance this. So this is why I would love to get 2 contracts in this. Just keep one going because I think it's got a good chance of sweeping back down here. Probably not a good idea, but let's see if it breaks here. Give it a bit of room. I don't like managing my trades like this, but set and forget I should be doing. You know what? Fucking I'm just going to do it. Just take it.
Order filled. Order cancelled.
Of course. Anyway. That's why I wanted 2 contracts. I could have still been alive in that. So what I would have done there if I had 2 contracts in and it wasn't a chicken shit, I would have moved the stop loss to break even, just let it run after taking that first profit. So, and then I would trail, like once, if it goes down here, goes below this, I would bring my stop loss down a bit further and just trail that down. So maybe put it here, this level. Oh shit, what's the time? Okay, guys, that's actually it. I've got my cleaner coming to clean my condo, so I better run. So I'm just trying to justify why I should have stayed in that trade. But anyway, look, I don't know if anyone got anything out of that. Hopefully you did. If you didn't, no problems. It was fun having you around. And I'll probably do this again tomorrow. I might even come back to London. if it looks okay, I might, if anyone's around London, I might go live London. So anyway, have a good day, guys. I hope everyone cracks a winner. All right, see ya.